Victoria's leading trainer Graeme Bate, 11 times Victoria's leading trainer. Graeme, we're going to talk to you about Rapidvite products today, and I believe you got onto Rapidvite products when you heard Johnny Marr, who trained the 1985 Melbourne Cup winner What a Nuisance, and he was singing the praises of the product and what it done for his horses by way of cramping and the like, and you sort of chased it up from there, and tell us how it come to happen.
Yeah, well, at the time I had a dog called Nashamraro, and he was a chronic cramping dog, and I'd basically come to the end of my tether with him. He got so bad that he used to actually cramp up and fall over on the track after a race, and we had to pick him up, and we couldn't stop him cramping, didn't matter what we did. And I sort of got onto the product through hearing about it through the Johnny Marr saga, and I basically chased up Steve, and we had a bit of a talk about it, and he was a horse and a pacing man at the time, and when I spoke to him about it, he said that he could develop a product that would stop the dog from tying up, and that wasn't the only dog. I had a lot of dogs that were tying up at the time, and so anyway, we sort of he made me the product, and Rapid Acid Neutraliser, which he still makes today, and it's gone through probably a couple of changes in its life as well, and it's a terrific product, and it does stop dogs from tying up and cramping. So that's how we basically met. Yeah,
you're a great advocate for that product, and so much so that when Steve Robinson did develop the product that works so well with Nashamraro, who was a terrific greyhound, and I think from memory made a national sprint final.
He did,
you know, many feature races. You put your name on the product, and it is today as a GB, and I think Steve says some people think it's Great Britain, but it actually stands for Graeme Bate. So I'm proud of that, and the fact that you virtually led Steve into Greyhound racing as another outlet for the product. So you told people about it, and we're happy to call the praises of the products.
Yeah, well, at the time, as I said, Steve was heavily into the horse racing, and at the time I was using a product which I'd been using for, I don't know, probably 20 years or something, and anyway, I said to Steve about it, and he said he could make a better product than the product that I was using, and I, at that time, was approached by dozens of companies to push their products and to virtually be the face of them, and because I was having so many winners at the time and such a high profile, and anyway, Steve came along to me and he said that he could make a better product, and at the time I was buying a couple of separate things like vitamin E and that, and adding them to the product that I was having, and he said he would have the one product in the lot, and anyway, he bought me down a 20 kilo drum of this product, which had no name at the time, and at the time we had 3 sheds operating, 3 race sheds, and we had about 25 dogs in each shed, and I was working one shed, and my wife was working the middle shed, and my stepson Peter Hunt was working the third shed, and Peter and I wouldn't change because our dogs were going okay as such, and we wouldn't change, and so what we did is we pushed the product onto Beverly's shed, and she used it, and I think after a week or 2 weeks, we had, at the time, which probably still stands now, we had a record 8 winners in the city on one day, and we 5 of them came out of Bev's shed, and so what didn't take us too long to change the whole 3 sheds to the product, and hence that's the product that we call. And Steve said to me at the time, he said, "What are we going to call it?" I said, "Well, you can put my name to that one because it's such a great product, and it's got if you read the vitamin and mineral readout on the front of the packet, of the drum, you can see that it's got so many as Steve calls them, goodies in it, and it's just a terrific product. So I wasn't the least bit worried about putting my name to that product, and that's what I've done, and that's hence the GB.
And some people may have kept the secret for themselves. Very competitive
Yeah.
Greyhound training, like any racing sport, but you were happy to let people know about it, and it's of course, as we know, widely used now, and all the natural goodness comes out in the greyhounds. And I think you told me you actually could see the difference in your dogs.
You can, yeah. Actually, I had a person come to me only last week. He came and he said he'd visited several sheds of dogs around the area, and he came in and he said that by far mine were the best and in the best condition and the shiniest, and it just sort of it speaks for itself. Just when you use the product, you can see the difference in your dogs.
Now, Steve's widely recognised as an expert in the field of performance animals and athletes, and how much the success is attributed to racing greyhounds and diet. Has your involvement been with Steve since you started using Rapidvite products?
Yeah, well, Steve is a biochemist, and he's come over from Hungary and basically set up here, and it's pretty hard to get off the ground here, I suppose. But if you get results, well, they really speak for themselves. I think in this industry, which you get a lot of companies trying to get you to push their products, I think if you use a product and you can see the difference in it, I think that's where Steve sort of got the recognition and the company built up, because if it wasn't a good product, you wouldn't be using it for long.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, the two of you have become good friends. Steve likes fishing, and of course you absolutely love fishing.
Yeah.
And it's part of your relaxation away from training greyhounds.
Yep.
Can you see the two of you maybe doing some fishing on the track?
Maybe we can. Maybe Steve sort of he's been around a bit, and he's basically to me a terrific guy, and and he's very sincere in his product, and that's the thing what I was looking at for a start. So maybe down the track we might do a bit of fishing together. Yeah.
Good on you, Graeme. Thanks for talking to us and telling us about your involvement in Rapidvite products from the very beginning. Thanks, mate.
Thanks very much.